The 11-year-old girl who walked into a hospital with a baby. It was a quiet afternoon at St. Mary's Hospital in Chicago. The usual hum of conversation drifted through the lobby, the rhythmic squeak of shoes across the polished floor echoing faintly. Then the automatic doors hissed open, letting in a gust of cool air, and a silence that felt almost deliberate. A small girl, no older than 11, stepped inside. Her jeans were faded, her sweater 2 sizes too big, and in her thin trembling arms lay a newborn baby wrapped in a blanket that looked more like a towel. For a second, nobody moved. The receptionist's pen hovered in the air. A janitor froze mid-swipe. The sound of the baby's faint whimper was the only thing alive in that stillness. When the girl finally spoke, her voice cracked. He needs help. And then, quietly, almost inaudibly, she said who the baby's mother was. I'm his mom. Nurse Ava Parker, senior pediatric nurse, had just been sorting old files when she heard the words that made her stop mid-page. She stepped out into the corridor and saw the girl. Something in Ava's chest tightened. Years in emergency wards had taught her to spot pain even before the first word. The child's posture, half defensive, half pleading, said everything. Ava approached slowly, speaking with the soft cadence she used for frightened children. Sweetheart, you've come to the right place. Let's get you somewhere quiet, okay? The girl didn't move at first, only clutching the baby tighter. When Ava extended her hand, she hesitated, then nodded. Inside a small private room, Ava fetched a blanket and warm bottle. Feed him slowly, honey, she said. The girl sat down, knees drawn up, holding the bottle as if afraid it might vanish. What's your name? Ava asked. Anna. And his? Ryan. Ava smiled softly. That's a strong name. Dr. Michael Reeves entered a few minutes later, gentle but purposeful. He crouched so that his eyes were level with Anna's. Hi, Anna. I'm a doctor here. Can I check on Ryan? I just want to make sure he's okay. Anna's grip tightened, her whole body stiffening. Ava placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. It's all right, sweetheart. He's safe. After a long pause, Anna nodded and handed Ryan over, every movement cautious and slow. Dr. Reeves examined the baby, tiny, underweight, dehydrated, but breathing steadily. He's a little weak, but he'll be fine with care, he said, giving Ava a look that mixed relief and disbelief. When he returned Ryan to her arms, Anna's face softened in visible relief. Tears pooled in her eyes but didn't fall, not yet. Not long after, Maria Collins, the hospital's social worker, entered the room. Her approach was deliberate, calm. She'd worked with frightened teenagers before, but never someone this young. Hi, Anna, she said, pulling up a chair. I'm here to help you and your baby. Anna's eyes darted between them, calculating escape routes the way a trapped bird would. Maria noticed the subtle lean of Anna's shoulders, the protective curve of her arms around Ryan. You're not in trouble, Maria said softly. No one's going to take him away. We just want to help. For a long moment, Anna said nothing. Then, in a whisper that sounded older than her years, she said, No one knows he was born. No one can ever know. The air changed. Ava stopped breathing for a second. Maria leaned forward. Why, sweetheart? Anna looked down at her sneakers. My mom, she'd kill me if she found out. She's always mad, always yelling. I couldn't tell her. I couldn't tell anyone. Her voice broke. When he came, I was alone. Ava covered her mouth, her heart pounding. Maria sat silently, letting the words come at Anna's pace. I didn't know what to do, Anna continued. I hid it. I wore big clothes. When the pain started, I went to the bathroom. I thought I was dying. She took a shaky breath. When I heard him cry, I didn't know if I should be happy or scared. I just held him, wrapped him in my blanket, and walked here. The nurses outside pretended to busy themselves with paperwork, but the story traveled faster than any rumor ever could. A child had given birth, and now she was sitting in room 7 feeding her baby like a quiet miracle. Ava sat beside her. You're very brave, Anna. You did everything you could to protect him. Anna shook her head. I just didn't want him to cry. Over the next few hours, the hospital moved quietly around Anna. Ryan was placed under observation, hydrated, monitored, then returned to his mother's arms. Maria made phone calls, to child services, to a shelter she trusted, to a pediatric psychologist who could help Anna understand what had happened without breaking her spirit. At dinner time, Anna refused to leave Ryan's side. When a nurse brought her soup, she tried to feed the baby first. Ava smiled softly. You both need to eat, okay? He needs his mom strong. For the first time, Anna gave a faint smile, tiny, fleeting, but real. Later that night, when the ward lights dimmed, Ava checked in one last time. Anna had fallen asleep sitting up, Ryan against her chest. The baby's tiny fist clutched a fold of her sweater. Ava pulled another blanket over them both. Sleep, sweetheart, she whispered. You're safe now. By morning, the story had reached the hospital board. Some argued they should alert the police immediately, others said compassion first, paperwork later. Dr. Reeves stood firm. She's a child who saved another child. Treat her like one. Maria worked tirelessly, filling forms, speaking to caseworkers. The shelter agreed to take them, a small, private home run by retired nurses who specialized in young mothers. Before they left, Ava gave Anna a small blue notebook. When Ryan grows up, he'll want to know what his mom did for him, she said. Write everything you remember. It's your story. Anna ran her fingers across the cover as if it were made of glass. Thank you, she said softly. The shelter was nothing like Anna expected. It smelled of cinnamon and laundry detergent. The women there smiled, real smiles, not the forced ones she'd learned to fear. In the first week, Anna learned to sterilize bottles, bathe Ryan properly, and sleep without waking up at every sound. She was still quiet, but now her silence had peace instead of fear. Maria visited often, bringing baby clothes and sometimes just sitting with her. One afternoon, she asked, What do you want to be when you grow up? Anna thought for a while. A nurse, she said. Like Ava. She didn't look at me like I was bad. Maria smiled. Then you'll be a good one. 2 weeks later, Ava and Dr. Reeves visited the shelter. When Anna saw them, she almost ran to greet them, Ryan cooing in her arms. He's gaining weight, Ava said, her voice bright. You're doing an amazing job. Anna blushed. He smiles now, she said proudly, as Ryan gurgled. They spent the afternoon talking. Ava handed her a stethoscope. So you can practice early. Anna laughed, a sound none of them had heard before. Before leaving, Ava hugged her gently. You changed more lives than you know, sweetheart. Months later, spring sunlight streamed through the shelter window. Ryan was crawling, curious and determined. Anna sat on the floor beside him, writing in the blue notebook. Dear Ryan, the day you were born, I was scared. But I learned that being brave doesn't mean you're not afraid, it means you love someone enough to keep going anyway. She paused, smiling at the small boy who now pulled himself toward her. Outside, the world carried on, buses passing, children laughing, but inside that little room, life had found a new rhythm. When Maria dropped by that afternoon, she found the notebook half filled and Anna humming softly to Ryan. You're getting good at this, Maria said. Anna looked up. He makes it easy. Back at St. Mary's, Ava kept a photo of Anna and Ryan, taken on their last day there, pinned near her desk. When new nurses joined, she sometimes pointed to it and said, "That's why we do what we do." The staff never forgot the day an 11-year-old girl walked into the hospital carrying a newborn. Not because it was shocking, but because it reminded them of the quiet power of compassion. One late summer evening, Anna stood on the shelter's porch, Ryan asleep against her shoulder. She looked at the city skyline glowing in the distance and whispered, "We're okay now." Inside, her notebook lay open beside a half-finished page. She wrote, "One day, we'll have our own home. I'll work in a hospital and help kids like me. And I'll tell them, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to start over." She closed the notebook and smiled. The same doors that once represented fear now symbolized hope. As she carried Ryan inside, his tiny hand resting against her heart, the world felt wide and possible. If this story touched your heart, remember, there are countless Annas out there, young souls fighting silent battles we may never see. Let's choose kindness. Let's choose empathy. Because sometimes, a single act of care can save an entire life. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe for more real stories.